Chicago, one cold, dark night, a blizzard was setting in. A little boy was selling newspapers on the corner. The people were passing by, trying to hurry home to their warm homes where they would be out of the cold. The little boy was so cold, he wasn't selling very many papers. He walked up to a policeman and he said, "Mister, you wouldn't happen to know where a poor boy could find a warm place to sleep tonight, would you?" He said, "You see, I sleep in a box around the corner there and down the alley. It's awful cold in there tonight. It sure would be nice to have a warm place to stay." The policeman looked down at the little boy and he said, "You go down the street to that big white house and you knock on the door. And when they come to the door, you just say, John 3:16, and they will let you in." So he did. He walked up the steps to the door, knocked on the door, and a lady came to the door. He looked up and said, "John 3:16. The lady said, "Come on in, son." She took him in, and she set him down in a split-bottom rocker in front of a great big old fireplace, and she went off. He sat there for a while, and then he thought to himself, John 3:16, I don't understand it, but it sure makes a cold boy warm. Later she came back, and she asked him, said, "Are you hungry?" He said, "Yes, just a little. I haven't eaten in a couple of days, and I guess I could stand just a little bit of food." So she took him into the kitchen, and she set him down to a table just full of nice food. He ate until he couldn't stand any more. Then he thought to himself again, John 3:16, boy, I sure don't understand it. It sure makes a hungry boy full. She took him off upstairs to a bathroom, to a big old bathtub full of warm water. And he sat there and he soaked for a while. And as he soaked, he thought to himself, John 3:16, I sure don't understand it, but it sure makes a dirty boy clean. You know, I've not had a bath, I guess, in my whole life. The only bath I ever had was when I stood in front of a big old fire hydrant and they flushed it out. She came in and got him and took him in, and she tucked him into a big old feather bed. And as she pulled the covers up around his neck and kissed him goodnight and turned out the lights, he lay there in the darkness. And as he looked out the window with the snow coming down, and it was so cold and dark outside, he thought to himself, "My, John 3:16, I don't understand it, but it sure makes a tired boy rested." The next morning she came back up and took him down again to that same big table full of food. After he ate, she took him back to that same big old split-bottom rocker in front of the fireplace, and she took a big old Bible out and sat down in front of him, and she looked at him and said, "Do you understand John 3:16? He said, "No, ma'am, I don't. The first time I ever heard it was when the policeman told me to use it last night." Then she opened the Bible to John 3:16, and she began to explain to him Jesus. Right there in front of that big old fireplace, he gave his heart and his life to Jesus. And he sat there and he thought, my, John 3:16. I sure don't understand it, but it sure does make a lost boy saved. You know, I have to confess, I don't understand it either. How God would be willing to send his son to die for me, and how Jesus would agree to do such a thing. I don't understand it either, but you know, it sure does make this old lost person saved.